to Bob Rourke. He and I have been looking at 2-hour bars using the RLCO for swing trading insights, and it gets some pretty interesting. I like this here. The last 2 times that it found support out here in the floodplain. The first one was not bad. The second one gave a real nice move from 81 to 88. Now we got something like a 50% pullback. Now it's at that very long term. The longest term trend on here is a 200 period regression line of the VWAP, of the volume weighted average price. So that's really the long term market. That's like a 60-day trend line. And so I see it spent that time below that long-term trend, and now this period of time above, and now it's holding support right here. So I really like that. I like where Caterpillar is right here. I'd be willing to buy it at 85.80 on any kind of strength. Looking for $2 up to 87.60, and then a retest of the swing high at 88.50. And if it gets above there, then it's really off and running. So I like Caterpillar there. If we shift over to daily, I think we'll see a really nice support level here forming. So after this nice move from this is what we saw that last move, a nice move up to here. Now if it holds support right here at the at the 30 period regression line, but if it holds support anywhere above 84, then this starts to look like a lazy W. Now, let me see if I can get my pen in here. So with this being a higher low, so if it can hold support anywhere in this area, north of 84, then this looks like a retest up to 88 again. And then if it gets above 88, the next, all it has to do really is get above 90, and then off it goes. So Caterpillar looks pretty interesting to me. I like it. Microsoft. Wow. That's sort of a discontinuous function there. I have no idea why I did that. I probably have to go look at the news to try to make sense of it. But that's really a system shock. So at 31.40, that entire strong move where Microsoft was the climbing up here, all that is off. The next support level on the downside, so it fails here, is down around 29 even. So there's about $2 of downside, and then we would say, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that's exactly why it shows us 4-to-1 on the auto framer. That should tell you something. So if we want to dial in on Microsoft, a stock that everybody who is a large cap mutual fund has to own, here's a chance to buy it on, let's see, it's down from 36 to 31, so it's off almost $5 on 36, so that's a 15% sale on Microsoft. I mean, you have to be interested in it if you're a large owner. On a 2-hour chart, this is pretty interesting here. This has got this is price ribbon outside of the floodplain. This would be the beginning of that Anderson regression line stretch. And so, in my view, if we wanted to frame straight, could say, if we made that, if we bought this, we would want to buy this somewhere above, not greater than 32.25, and then put a stop in 31. Whoops. There we go. There's $1 of risk, and then you'd be looking at 33.75 where it turned to the mean, or even if you just 50% retracement, you'd be looking at somewhere around, I think, here. That's certainly a reasonable entry and a trade frame right there, and plan for 2 to 1 to turn to the mean. So I think Microsoft is pretty attractive. We'll take a look at Alcoa. Alcoa on the 2-hour, that looks very nice to me, especially given that strength we saw in the industrials. Here's a case, again, where we have finding support down here at the bottom of the floodplain. If you're a swing trader, you have to be psychologically prepared to buy after system shot, with the idea being that you're going to try to get things like that move from there to here, to the far side of the river. In this case, we'd be looking at, this is in, here. I'd be willing to buy Alcoa, on a breakout above 23.10 even, with an idea of aiming for 23.70 and using a stop down below the ribbon low at 22.90. I'd be with that trade right there on Intel. Looking at Alcoa, nice move from 7.5 up to 8.25. Has pulled back to the south side of the river. If it can hold 8, then this would be a nice place to have support, with a nice entry here, and then aiming for a move to there. That would be a nice move. Playing that move, and then if it gets above 8.25, above that swing low, that's going to look really good. On the other side, we had this whole series of higher lows, which broke right here. So I'd be willing to give it one more shot on the upside, but if it fails below that 807, or really if we just said below 802, then the next price target is down here and then here. Those are 3 downside price targets, and that's what you could be on if the market's weak and Alcoa collapses. You could play that short using that key price level of about $8 even. Okay. Take a quick look at XIV. Also on the 2-hour. There's just nothing wrong with that thing. I mean, that has been such a good swing trade. Ever since the risk off switched over to risk on, this has been just a nice move from 18 to 25. That's the kind of move that was available on a swing trade basis by looking at that risk on, risk off, that risk index. I cannot emphasize that too much, why that is such a useful indicator. That should be plenty of reason to make you interested in being a volatility trader, in my view. What I like about this brown line right here is that 200 period regression line on the VWAP. You spent all this time with everything on the wrong side of the long-term trend, which was down here, right? And then you had the river, 90 period regression line in the green, then the 30, then the 10. Well, after a while, it can't go down any further, and you get as the price ribbon crosses the 10 crosses the 30, the 10 crosses the 90, it crosses the Bollinger Band mean, gets out of the river, and then crosses the 200, and then just keeps going. And then you see the 30 roll over, and now it crosses the 90, crosses the Bollinger Band mean. Now we know that the 30 crossing the Bollinger Band mean is a very important potential alert to a change in intermediate term. And even if you waited for that long, you were getting into XIV around 20, and could play that from 20 to 25, which is a 25% move in 10 days. So that's a really important turning point when the 30-period regression line crosses the Bollinger Band mean. And on a swing trade basis on 2-hour charts, that's why we like that. That's a really powerful idea. We've only had one serious test right here, coming back to the Bollinger Band mean, which held and then moved up another segment. And so right now we are on the we're outside of the river. We're in the floodplain. So when we zoom in on that, we are in nosebleed territory here. We've already had one spike up. This was sort of the first system shock. It was unaccompanied by the ribbon, and it fell back here. It shook out the weak hands, and then made a really nice move those last couple days, and this last day on Friday, for a really nice move up. However, we've already had one kind of warning shot here, but the last time we had that warning shot responded with a nice up move, and this little warning shot was even less than this one. So let's see. My sense is that Monday there's going to be an opportunity for a sharp move up, just based on everybody that's looking at the positivity market on Monday. So maybe Monday, the standard conspiracy theory here in my head is big day up on Monday to entice the last bit of over the weekend money in, and then turn around Tuesday, because at levels where there's plenty of room for a natural rebound without causing panic. So I'm going to be really open to that scenario. I'm ready to pile on the long side intraday, but I'm also aware that we're at high levels longer term. I want to look at Hewlett-Packard as well. Hewlett-Packard so here's a chance to buy the strong stock in the Dow on sale with the ribbon outside of the floodplain. Now, it closed weekly at 25.13. So what I'd be looking at is if I could get, if there was some kind of rebound and buying as it crossed through 25.40 with the idea of getting up to 26.20, I think that's a really good trade frame in here with the stop down here and entry up around in here, and with the target around 26.15. I think that's a reasonable trade in the stock that everybody still wants to buy, being the strongest one in the Dow. And if we look back a little further on that, here was the last time that it had, the last two times that on a 2-hour chart on a swing basis that it fell out of the river and out of the floodplain was here and here. So in terms of as soon as you see some return to strength, like maybe, I don't know, regression line crossovers and price entering the river, is that something that you could maybe think about buying as a low-risk idea? I think so. So that's what the nearest neighbor look-backs look like. So that would have us buying somewhere around here with the stop here, with the idea being that it's going to test this, and if it gets above that price level of 2050, off it goes. No looking back. Okay, so we're about an hour into this. That's everything I wanted to cover. I'm going to upload the recording of this. So if you wanted to take a look at the those markups, and hopefully you found that helpful. Was there any feedback on any of that stuff? Is that the kind of stuff you'd like to see me keep doing in the, after going through the reports? If so, I keep doing that. So, okay. All right, so that's everything I wanted to cover here. I'm going to stop the recording. I'll get it uploaded on YouTube shortly, and if you're subscribed to that channel, you'll get an alert that it's in. So, take good care, and we'll see you in the chat room. And you guys keep your risk measured and cover draft.